started today, guys. So today we are going to be talking about how to overcome a fat loss plateau when you are doing everything right with your cardio, with your training, you're on a caloric deficit, but you seem to not be able to lose weight anymore. What do you do? Okay, so I'm going to be talking about what exactly needs to be changing in order to get over this weight loss plateau. So one thing that I would say is that if you guys have been on a fat loss phase for a while, you've been on it for 4, 5, 6 months or even longer, you've been in a caloric deficit, low calories, okay? You've been doing a lot of cardio, like high amounts, you're sprinting, you're on the treadmill, you're on the stair stepper. On top of that, you're strength training and the number's not going down. As a matter of fact, you actually feel like your energy's down, your motivation's down, you feel like you're retaining water, then it's time that you need to take a step back. The first thing I would say is addressing your sleep. Sleep is one thing that ends up going when you're on a caloric deficit, and in general, we tend to not get enough sleep. When we're not getting enough sleep, the recommended time is around 7 to 8, technically 7 to 9 hours a night, guys. I get around 8 to 9. If you're not getting enough sleep, during sleep, it regulates your hormones. Not enough sleep leads to cortisol levels being elevated. That puts your body in a state of fight or flight response, and it actually changes your insulin resistance. So basically, you don't become as sensitive to insulin, and you will notice that your body starts actually having the opposite effect. That's when you start storing fat. That's when you start strength going down. That's when you start water retention in the body. So one contributing factor that could be not getting enough sleep. So if you guys have been on a fat loss phase for a while, I would throw in these few tips to help you with sleep. Number one would be get to bed before 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, your cortisol levels spike and you have a hard time falling asleep as well as staying asleep. If you also have a hard time falling asleep, get a pen and paper. Write down everything that's on your mind before you go to bed to clear your mind so that you have that state of, I'm not gonna forget what I need to do, and I could just relax and allow my body to sleep. And that's been a huge one for me. Also, get an eye mask. Cover your eyes, sleep in complete darkness. That's a huge one. You could do things like lavender essential oils or anything. I love lavender, chamomile to help me stay asleep. I'll throw some essential oils in my diffuser and put it on. And then another one could be doing things like listening to something called bilateral beats. I love going on YouTube, typing in sleep bilateral beats. They're basically different frequencies to help with stress, sleep, anxiety. I put my earbuds in and it just helps me. I put my mask on and it helps me fall asleep. So fat loss plateaus, number one, address your sleep. If you're getting less than 7 hours a night and you just feel like crap, please start implementing these things to start getting enough sleep. If you did that, you need to look at number two. Number two, if you've been on a fat loss phase for a while, you may need to take a step back and do almost a diet break or a refeed. You may have heard of the terminology carb cycling, and this is something I implement with all of my clients. The longer you are on a caloric deficit, it throws off your leptin and ghrelin levels. These are your two hunger hormones. What happens is they go opposite. So ghrelin is your hunger hormone, leptin is your satiety hormone. The longer you're on a caloric deficit, you're gonna realize the two go out of whack. You're gonna be hungrier, you're not as satisfied anymore, you start getting cravings, and then you start grabbing for those unhealthy options. So implementing things like 1 to 2 day like refeeds, bumping up the carbs helps restore, yes, I love the hearts. It helps restore your leptin and ghrelin levels, as well as it helps with your thyroid levels as well, which is the main thing in terms of your metabolism. What happens though is you can't fully restore your leptin levels, your ghrelin levels, your cortisol, your thyroid levels that are due to the caloric deficit in 1 to 2 days. So sometimes you need to take longer of a break. So what happens is you could implement either a 1 to 2 week diet break with an increase of carbohydrates, bringing the cardio down, or even 1 to 2 month diet breaks. I always say for the length that you are on the caloric deficit, you want to spend that amount of time on a reverse diet to get your body and your hormones back in functioning. So I would say if you hit a fat loss plateau, start doing some research on carb cycling, 1 to 2 day diet breaks, 1 to 2 week diet breaks, as well as 1 to 2 month diet breaks. Yes, you are taking a step back. You're not in a caloric deficit, but long term, you're gonna have even better results. There's so many studies out there that show that the fat loss, as well as the fact that you're gonna be more, basically you're gonna stay to the diet, you're gonna, more diet adherence. So long term, having these diet breaks and refeeds, you're gonna have long term diet adherence because you're getting those carbs. You're getting your energy back up. You're restoring your glycogen levels. You're gonna feel stronger in the gym. Like all of these things, guys, make a huge difference. And what happens is sometimes I actually take a client that's been on a caloric deficit maybe for 2 months. They start hitting a fat loss plateau. I bump their carbs up like 70. I drop their cardio. Sometimes I take their cardio down to like 10 minutes. And sometimes they'll actually end up stomach going down, water flushing out, and they may drop 2 or 3 pounds. Or we'll increase it, their weight will stay the same, and then we take them back into the fat loss and they just start dropping weight. So look into diet breaks, look into refeeds, look into your sleep levels. The next thing I would say is incorrectly looking at your progress. So what happens is you may notice that the scale is going up, but there's other factors that could drive that scale to be going up. It may not be that you're not losing weight. It may be something else that I'm gonna talk about now. So number 1 could be sodium. If you have realized that you've been eating more processed food, your sodium levels have been going up. Sodium, when it's out of whack with potassium or just in high amounts, will cause your body to hold on to water. Okay, guys? So if your sodium levels are too high, I would say increase your potassium, start looking at the foods that you're eating, get plenty of water in your diet, and electrolytes. Number 2 could be you're getting close to your period. For all my females out there, when you get close to your period, the scale actually goes up. For me, it could go up 4 to 5 pounds because your estrogen and progesterone levels get thrown off. So your body retains water. You're gonna feel bloated. This is normal. When your period's gone, it will go away, guys, I promise. The next thing would be digestion. Digestion in the sense of you're not going to the bathroom or you're eating food that trigger gas, bloating, constipation, and all those issues. So I would say look at your diet. If your fiber is literally through the roof and you're getting so gassy and bloated after meals, bring your fiber down. Recommended for females is around 20 to 25 grams a day, males 30 to 35 grams a day. Also, besides fiber, looking at the foods that you're eating. There's a lot of food sensitivities out there. I myself feel myself from ulcers and have a lot of food allergies. Eggs are a trigger for me. Dairy is a trigger for me. Like I'm allergic to dairy, gluten. All of those things cause digestive issues. So I would suggest getting a food journal, seeing if the foods that you're eating are causing digestive issues, causing your body just to be bloated or constipated or just very gassy. And that can cause a number on the scale to go up as well. And then the last one that can cause a number to go up on the scale, guys, is going to be, it's going to be not weighing yourself correctly. So if you guys weigh yourself, I would suggest weighing yourself on the same scale. Don't switch scales. So the same scale, first thing in the morning, on an empty stomach after you go to the bathroom, no clothes on. That's going to be the most consistent scale readings. When I am truly on like a prep, I like to weigh myself first thing in the morning every day. And then I take an average of my weight during the week because your weight fluctuates on a day-to-day basis. So taking an average gives me the most accurate results. And then looking at your measurements as well. Okay, guys? So there's one more thing I want to address. And before that, I'm going to go through all of them. So number 1 is look at your sleep. Lack of sleep bumps up your cortisol levels, body retaining water, throws off your insulin sensitivity, and causes your body to actually store fat. So get on track with your sleep. Being on high amounts of cardio with minimal to no calories, not getting sleep, and running yourself down is going to cause your body to, again, store fat, throw off your levels. So you may need to take a step back and do either carb cycling, diet breaks, or even do a reverse diet, guys. Reverse diet. And if you need help with that, I specialize in that. You can send me a DM. It's ElizabethAylorFitness, or you can send me an email at ElizabethAylorFitness@gmail.com. The next thing would be inaccurate scale readings. So you are losing weight, but you're just looking at the scale wrong or doing things in your diet which can cause the scale to go up. So you're actually losing weight, but you think you're not. And then the other thing that I do want to mention, guys, is overdoing it, okay? This is the big one. When we want to lose weight, we tend to go overboard. We want to lose weight as fast as possible. So we think the best way to do it is to take our calories, drop them to 1,200 calories or 1,000 calories, do an hour of cardio a day, and just try to keep burning as much as possible. But what happens, just like I talked about, guys, doing too much could actually bump up your cortisol levels and again, cause your body to store fat and not lose it. So I love doing walks every day. Walking is not high cortisol producing. Get your steps in, guys. Move your bodies, walk as much as possible. Find a good regimen with your strength training. Focus on maybe doing a 4 to 5 day progressive overload strength training split, trying to build your body, putting on as much lean muscle mass as possible, decreasing your fat mass, and in general, that's gonna bump up your metabolism. And then find the equal amount with doing a little bit of HIIT cardio. That's not too much. And again, if you guys need help with all of this, I specialize in it and I would love to work with you. When it comes down to it, guys, if you are following a crazy diet right now, whether it be no carb, low carb, keto, whatever it may be, ask yourself, do you see yourself following this 6 months, a year, 2 years from now? If you do not see yourself doing that much cardio with no carbohydrates, whatever it may be, it is not going to be sustainable and neither is your fat loss. So please look into these things. I'm going to be doing a live every single week for you guys as always, and I have a new YouTube video coming for you guys as well. I hope you have an amazing day. And again, guys, if you need help with anything, send me over a DM. My Instagram's ElizabethAylorFitness or email me at ElizabethAylorFitness@gmail.com. I've worked with over 400 clients all around the world. I'm a celebrity trainer and I built my physique from I was 200 pounds on severe antidepressants, and then I developed an eating disorder and then built my body from the ground up, and then I healed my stomach from ulcers, parasites, and all of that. I hope you guys have an incredible day. Say bye-bye, Tank. Bye, guys.